Hello everyone, you are watching Saheb Academy. If you like our videos, then please subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell icon for the regular updates, and also follow us on Instagram, Saheb Academy. Now let's go to the video.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the fifth video of Amalgamation chapter. Now in the previous videos we have discussed a lot about amalgamation, right? We have seen the journal entries, the ledger accounts, in both the books of transferor as well as transferee, old company, new company, and we have discussed a lot of concepts. Yes, so please watch the previous videos. Now in this video, what are we going to do is, in this video we are going to solve a simple problem of amalgamation to start off this chapter, right? See here is the question. Following is the balance sheet of Excel Limited as on 31st/3/2020. So here we have been given a horizontal balance sheet, and then see here the information. Fortune Limited acquires the business of Excel Limited. So now here what is happening? Fortune Limited, this company is acquiring the Excel Limited. So now this company will be the new company, Transferee Company, and this Excel Limited has been purchased. It has been sold to Fortune Limited. So now this company is called as Transferer Company, Vendor Company, or Selling Company, and this company will be liquidated and we have to close the books of Excel Limited. Yes, that is what we do. And this Fortune Limited is going to pay purchase consideration to the owners of Excel Limited. Yes, so first we have to calculate the PC. Yes, so see here in the question what they have said. Fortune Limited acquires the business of Excel Limited and agrees to take over only fixed assets and debentures. You see the statement? Take over only what? Fixed assets and debentures. So immediately you come to know that this is amalgamation in the nature of purchase, because the first condition has been broken, that all assets and all liabilities should be acquired. But here in the first sentence it is mentioned that only fixed assets and debentures are acquired. So first condition is broken. This is amalgamation in the nature of purchase, and we have to take care of that amalgamation in the nature of purchase or merger only in the books of transferee company. In the books of old company, transferor company, the accounting treatment is same, whether it is amalgamation in the nature of merger or purchase, it doesn't matter. Okay, because accounting standard 14 doesn't apply on the Excel Limited. Whatever treatment we are going to do, whatever journal entries, ledger accounts we are going to do in the Excel Limited, it doesn't matter whether amalgamation is in the nature of purchase or merger. It only matters here in the books of Fortune Limited. Fine, because AS 14, accounting standard of amalgamation only applies on the Fortune Limited, the transferee company. Fine. So now let's see here. So then they have said, and discharge purchase consideration as under. So here they have said about purchase consideration. Issue of 15,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each to preference shareholders in full settlement. So here they have talked about that what will be given to preference shareholders. They will be given 15,000 equity shares of rupees 10, and then issue of 35,000 equity shares of rupees 10 to equity shareholders and payment of cash for the balance. So here you see this. Equity shareholders are getting 35,000 equity shares, and then they are saying payment of cash for the balance. So whenever they say balance in cash, immediately you should commit to your mind, you should understand that this is purchase consideration with the net asset method. You have to calculate purchase consideration through the net asset method. So let's do that. See here, it's very simple. Let's do that. See here, calculation of PC net asset method. What do? We take all the assets that are taken over by the company, by the transferee company, Fortune Limited. And here we take assets at market value or the agreed value. But if agreed value or market value is not given, then we take book value as the agreed value, and then we go ahead, right? So here in this question they have said only fixed assets are taken, and the fixed assets are here in this balance sheet. See here, land and building is the fixed asset, plant and machinery is the fixed asset, but these assets are what? Stock, debtors and bank, these are current assets. And this P&L account, this is what? Fictitious asset. Yes, accumulated loss. Yes. So now only land and building and plant and machinery is taken over, right? So land and building, plant and machinery at what value? At the agreed value or the market value. So here in this extra information they have given us over here. See here, the land and building and plant and machinery are revalued at 5,75,000 and 1,45,000. So their market value or the fair value is given over here. So you have to take those values, 5,75,000, 1,45,000. Okay, add those two together, you will get 7,20,000. See here, how much is it? 5,75,000 plus 1,45,000, that's equal to 7,20,000. right? 7,20,000. So 7,20,000 minus the liabilities taken over and liabilities at the agreed value. So now here, have they given us any agreed value of that liability of debentures? They have said only debentures are taken over and debentures are of 1,50,000. But here they haven't given us any agreed value, right? So we will consider that 1,50,000 only. 1,50,000 only we will take. So 12% debentures, 1,50,000, we are going to subtract that and we will get the purchase consideration. 720, yeah, 720 minus 1,50,000 debentures, yeah, 7,20,000 minus 1,50,000, we get 5,70,000 as the 5,70,000 as the purchase consideration. So 5,70,000 has to be paid from Fortune Limited to Excel Limited. That's the purchase consideration we have just calculated with the net assets method. Fine. Then what do you have to do? Then you have to see in what forms that purchase consideration has been paid. Okay, that's kind of net payment method. See here, what do we do is discharge of purchase consideration. Yes, how is it paid to the owners of the transferor company? Who are the owners? Preference shareholders and equity shareholders. So here it is given over here. See here, discharge of purchase consideration is under issue of 15,000 equity shares. Here we are talking about in what forms, कैसे पेमेंट होगा of that purchase consideration, किस तरह पेमेंट होगा, right? That is what, in what forms, whether it is equity shares, debentures, bonds, cash, what, right? So this is what it is. See here, issue of 15,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each to preference shareholders. So preference shareholders are getting equity shares of how many? 15,000 equity shares of rupees 10. So give them that. See here, two preference shareholders, 2 PSH, equity shares how many? 15,000 shares of rupees 10, that is 1,50,000. Yeah, 15,000 shares, equity shares into rupees 10, that is equal to 1,50,000. So they are getting 1,50,000 of equity shares, and equity shareholders are getting what? They are getting 35,000 equity shares. See here, it's given in the question, issue of 35,000 equity shares of rupees 10. So 35,000 into 10, that is equal to 3,50,000. Yeah, 3,50,000. So that is what will be given to the equity shareholder, the equity shares. Equity shares of whom? Equity shares of Fortune Limited, because this company is getting liquidated. The shareholders are getting equity shares of Fortune Limited. Okay, keep that in mind, right? So they are getting 35,000. These equity shareholders are getting 35,000 equity shares to equity shareholders of rupees 10, and balance in cash and payment for cash for the balance. So what is this balance in cash? See here, 5,70,000 has to be paid to the owners of Excel Limited. You have made till now 1,50,000 to the preference shareholders, these owners, and 3,50,000 to the equity shareholders, and then balance in cash to equity shareholders. That is what is said in the question. So total purchase consideration is 5,70,000. So if you have made payment of 1,50,000 and 3,50,000, yeah, see here, total payment is 570. You have made payment of 150 to preference shareholders and 350 of equity shares to equity shareholders. So then 70 has to be made to equity shareholders in the cash. That is the balance they are talking about. Remaining cash mein pay karo. Okay, so the balance will be paid in cash, 70,000. So equity shareholders are getting equity shares and cash. Preference shareholders are getting only equity shares. Fine. So this is what was the purchase consideration. Then let's see what else is said. See here. Yeah, then they have said the land and building and plant machinery. Yeah, we have seen that. Excel Limited realized stock and debtors at 75,000 and 65,000 respectively. So here they are talking about that stock and debtors, how they are realized, because they are not taken over. So the transferor company has to sell the assets by its own if they are not taken over, and pay the liabilities on its own if they are not taken over. So here that is what being said here. Stock and debtors are sold. Okay, and discharge creditors at 10% discount. So here they are talking about payment of liability which is not taken over. Only debentures are taken over, creditors are not taken over, right? So the transferor company has to pay it itself. Okay, right. So then liquidation expenses of Excel Limited amounted to 12,500. Yeah, now here liquidation expenses are given and they haven't said who have paid it, right? Whether the transferor company or transferee company, they haven't said anything who has paid those liquidation expenses. So if the question is silent on that, we have to assume the Excel Limited paid the liquidation expenses on its own. Okay, right. Then you are required to prepare the realization account, equity shareholder account, preference shareholder account, Fortune Limited account. Yeah, this is the transferee account, bank account in the books of Excel Limited, Yeah, we have to prepare the ledger accounts here in the books of Excel Limited, and they are saying and pass necessary journal entries in the books of Fortune Limited. So in the books of the new company, Transferee Company, we have to pass certain journal entries. Okay, now let's solve this problem. Yeah, let's do the ledger accounts first in the books of Excel Limited. Now let's solve this problem. So first, what is happening over here? This Excel Limited is getting liquidated. This company is going to be shut down to become part of Fortune Limited. So now we have to close the books of Excel Limited. So how do we close the books of Excel Limited? Simple. You need to close the books of Excel Limited. Just kill the balance sheet of Excel Limited. Just kill the balance sheet. Whatever that is there in the balance sheet, reverse each and every item of the balance sheet. Yes. So how are you going to do that? Whatever that has debit balance, you are going to credit that, and whatever that has credit balance, you are going to debit that. Fine. And we are going to open a realization account to kill the balance sheet. Yes. So let's start. See, it's very simple. So now let's see what all ledger accounts we have to prepare in the Excel Limited and how are we going to prepare it. See, first what do we do is we open realization account. See here, realization account. So what do we do in realization account is whatever that is there in the balance sheet, yeah, we kill everything. सारी बैलेंस शीट को खाली करना है. वी हैव टू एम्प्टी द बैलेंस शीट. कुछ भी बैलेंस शीट में नहीं रहना है, सब कुछ बैलेंस शीट से निकाल देना है, राइट? सो सी हियर फर्स्ट व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू इज वी आर गोइंग टू टेक ऑल द एसेट्स whether taken over or not taken over, except accumulated losses or fictitious asset, except cash. ये दो चीज़ें हैं जिनमें तुम्हें ख्याल रखना है बराबर से, राइट? If the cash is taken over, then only you will take cash or bank to the realization account, and the profit and loss account or whatever fictitious assets are there, such as preliminary expenses, yeah, whatever accumulated losses are there, P&L, debit balance, yeah, those fictitious asset will not go to realization account. तो simple चीज़ जो तुम्हें करना है, right? You have to take all the assets, whether taken over or not taken over, and dump them into realization account. Okay, at the book values, जो भी value इधर रहेगी in the balance sheet, at those values only you have to pick them up and throw them in the realization account. So see here, all these assets, land and building, plant and machinery, stock, debtors, 3,250, 1,75, right? I have taken them and dumped them in the realization account on the opposite side. Simple, opposite side. Simple. Ledger account कैसे करना है? सब cross posting होती है. Everything is cross posted and opposite sides. That's it. Yeah. So here from the balance sheet, you are going to pick up the whole lot of these assets and dump them in the realization account over here on the debit side. Simple. And then you are going to kill the liabilities also. So what liabilities are there? Debentures and creditors. Now this is equity, right? Preference share capital and equity. Yes, we will come to that later. So first, liabilities. In liabilities, here we know only fixed assets are taken. I mean the asset only fixed assets are taken, and in the liability only debentures are taken. But that doesn't matter. In realization account, सारी की सारी assets, सारी की सारी liabilities, सब कुछ इधर dump करो, सब कुछ इधर फेंक दो. Okay, whether taken over or not taken over. So here only debentures are taken, but still we are going to dump both the liabilities at the book values 150 and 125 on the opposite side. See here, it will come here. Debentures, creditors, 150, 125 book values. Simple. So you have done this much. Then what you have to do is you have to take the purchase consideration. What have you got from the transferee company? Transferee company from Fortune Limited तुम्हें क्या मिला है? What you have got? Purchase consideration. What is that amount? You have got 5,70,000. We have just done the calculation, right? Purchase consideration. So you have to take that by Fortune Limited account, 5,70,000 purchase consideration by transferee company, the new company, right? Okay. उसके बाद then what you have to do? See here, whatever assets that are not taken over, in this question, stock is not taken over, debtors is not taken over, only land and building and plant and machinery is taken over, right? तो इनका हिसाब purchase consideration से हो जाएगा, but stock and debtors, they are not taken over, so you have to sell those assets yourself. जो एसेट नहीं टेक ओवर हुए हैं वो तुम्हें ही बेच देना चाहिए, राइट? तुम्हें मतलब ट्रांसफरर कंपनी को. सो सिंपल थिंग व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज सी हियर, स्टॉक एंड डेटर्स आर नॉट टेकन ओवर, सो यू आर गोइंग टू सेल देम ओवर हियर बाय बैंक और कैश, व्हाटएवर यू वांट यू कैन टेक बाय बैंक. Okay, stock debtors, but at what values? Whatever values they have been sold. But if the selling value, the market value, or it's not given, then what you are going to do? Whatever book value is there, take them. But here in this question, the book values are given. See here, not the book value, the market values are given. See here, Excel Limited realized stock and debtors at 75,000 and 65,000. स्टॉक एंड डेटर्स को उन्होंने बेच दिया 75 को और 65 को. सो एट दोज वैल्यूज यू हैव टू टेक देम, यू हैव टू सेल देम हियर. जो एसेट्स टेकन ओवर नहीं हुए हैं यू हैव टू सेल देम योर सेल्फ. सिंपल. And then those liabilities which are not taken over, such as creditors in this question, 1,25,000. Yeah, see here, creditors were not taken over. Only fixed asset and debentures are taken over. So of course creditors are not taken over. The book value is 1,25,000. And now you have to pay them yourself. Transfer company, right? So इधर लेना पड़ेगा opposite side में, to bank or to cash, whatever, right? But how did I get this amount? See here, in the question they have said what is the agreed value. See here, and discharge creditors at 10% discount. 10% discount मतलब simple है, at 90%. Yeah, the creditors were at 1,25,000 the book value, and it is said in the question that they have been discharged at 90%. 10% less, 10% discount, so into 0.90. Simple. That is equal to 1,12,500. So 1,12,500 will come over here. Okay, to bank 1,12,500. Simple, right? Then what you are going to do, and then see what has happened. See here in this realization account, what do? We take all the expenses over here and all the income over here. It's a nominal account. Okay, so जो भी payment होगा वो इधर आएगा. Whatever payment has been done, it will come over here, and whatever receipt that we are getting, it will come over here. Whatever income we are getting, fine. So now here, then they have said, see here, plant and machinery revaluation. Yeah, this sentence was for purchase consideration calculation. Yeah, and then Excel Limited realized stock and debtors. Yes, that's over. Discharge creditors, that's over. Liquidation expenses of Excel Limited amounted to 12,500. वो बोले हैं liquidation expense हो गया है. Or who has paid that? Excel Limited only, because the question is silent. It doesn't say who has paid it. So we have to assume that Excel Limited only paid it 12,500, right? So कुछ भी payment होगा, whatever payment will happen, it will come on the debit side. Yeah, to bank. Liquidation expenses 12,500. Simple as that. Yeah, we dump all the assets, all the liabilities, whether taken over or not taken over. But I didn't took cash over here. Okay, keep that in mind. I didn't took bank and I didn't took P&L account also. Why? Because the bank is not taken over. These are the two exceptions that you have to understand. Cash and bank is only taken in the realization account when the transferee company takes over the cash. If it doesn't, yeah, then you don't have to take cash over here. But rest all assets, लो या ना लो, इधर लेना ही है. Okay, you're clear with that, right? So this is what. And then I didn't take the fictitious asset also, this accumulated loss, yeah, of 1,40,000. That will go to equity shareholder account. We'll come to that later. तो क्या किया हमने, बैलेंस शीट में एसेट और लाइबिलिटीज को खाली कर दिया. वी हैव एम्प्टीड द एसेट्स एंड द लाइबिलिटीज, राइट? नाउ वी आर लेफ्ट विथ फिक्टिशियस एसेट्स and then capitals. So we have to come to that. So that's why what do is, till here we pause the realization account. We don't close the realization account. This is the most important thing. Don't close the realization account in a hurry, okay? You know, pause the realization account over here. Okay, leave it. Open the preference shareholder account. Open the preference shareholder account and equity shareholder account. So in equity shareholder account and preference shareholder account, what do? We dump their capital. उनके capital को फेंकना है balance sheet से. See here, equity share capital we have 4 lakh. Dump that into the equity shareholder account on the opposite side. Buy equity share capital 4 lakh. Simple. Equity share capital on the opposite side. Buy equity share capital. क्योंकि उनका है ना, equity shareholder का है, तो cancel करोगे, उनको फेंक दोगे. And then preference share capital, yeah, whose is this? Preference shareholders. Throw them in the preference shareholders on the opposite side. Buy preference share capital account 2 lakh. Simple. Balance sheet खाली हुई क्या? Balance sheet खाली नहीं हुई. We have thrown the assets in the realization account, liabilities in the realization account, and then bank is still left. Yeah, this is still left, and the capitals were left, but capital we have thrown just now, so capitals are gone. So now what you are going to do? They see here, the fictitious assets, these assets have no resale value, so we cannot take them into realization account. We cannot take them into realization account. So what do we have to do is, we have to throw them in the equity shareholder account. These fictitious assets are accumulated and capitalized losses, you know, so they have no resale value, such as preliminary expenses, advertisement expense, profit and loss debit balance, underwriting commission. So these are accumulated and capitalized losses, yeah, and expenses. So what do is, these losses someone has to bear them. right? Someone has to bear those losses. So who will bear those losses? The equity shareholders. So you have to throw that on the opposite side. Profit and loss account, this is the debit balance. Okay, this is the debit balance, this is a loss, not profit. Profit and loss, debit balance. So you have to throw that on the opposite side of equity shareholder account. See here, इधर था, इधर फेंक दिए to profit and loss 1,40,000. Simple. Okay, then see here in preference shareholder account, what do we do? See, we have taken the preference share capital here, right? We have cancelled the capital. Balance sheet को खाली करने के लिए इधर फेंक दिए preference share capital. Now what do we have to do? We have to close the preference shareholder account first. Always remember, if there are preference shareholders, you have to open preference shareholder account, throw their capital on the credit side, and then close the preference shareholder account first. Okay, so see here, अब इधर क्या लेना है? Simple है. What have you given to preference shareholders? You have to take it over here. या क्या मिला है preference shareholders को from purchase consideration? That you have to take over here. The purchase consideration which was given to preference shareholders was what? It was equity shares of 1,50,000. Simple है. Equity shares दिए थे उनको 1,50,000. Simple. Take that. 2 equity shares. Equity shares were given to preference shareholders. 1,50,000. So उनका account settle करना है. Right? Their preference share capital was 2 lakh, लेकिन उनको मिल रहा है 1,50,000. Whatever that is given to preference shareholder, it will come over here. Cash is given, debentures, equity shares, preference shares, whatever इधर लेना है. So equity shares दिया हुआ है तो equity shares ले लो. 2 equity shares 1,50,000. But then balancing figure will come, right? Here it is 2 lakh, here it is 1,50,000. 50,000 का difference आ रहा है. 50,000 difference is coming, balancing figure. So that balancing figure will hit realization account. That is why I told you, don't close realization account in hurry burry. Pause the realization account, right? Don't close it. Complete the preference shareholder account and then see whether you are getting any balancing figure over here, because you have to do cross posting of that in the realization account. इधर मतलब क्या हो रहा है इधर? See here, you were supposed to pay 2 lakh to preference shareholders, but you are paying, I mean these guys are getting, preference shareholders are getting only 1,50,000. So 50,000 नहीं मिल रहा है, इसका मतलब हमको प्रॉफिट हो रहा है. So that profit will hit realization account. Understood? अगर हम ज़्यादा पे करते हैं, let's say we would have paid 5 lakh, we would have paid 5 lakh to them in equity shares, let's say just for an example, then 3 lakh balancing figure would have come over here. So that means we have paid more, right? If we have paid more, then that's an expense for us, that's a loss for us, and it will hit realization account over here. But since here we have paid less and balancing figure on the debit side, so cross posting in realization account, it will come over here by preference shareholder account. 50,000 हमने कम पे किया है, so this is income for us, like a profit. Okay, I told you realization account is a nominal account, all incomes comes on the credit side. Simple, you get this. We close the preference shareholder account first and then we close the realization account, right? Transfer the realization, transfer this balancing figure to the realization account by preference shareholder account 50,000. Now what you are going to do, you are going to close the realization account. See here, it's very simple. To close the realization account, all you have to do is just add it up, right? So now we have done till here, right? Till here we have got this balancing figure from the preference shareholder account. I mean this preference shareholder, we have got it from here. This balancing figure hit the realization account, right? So now let's tally this account, realization account. See here, it's very simple. See, let's add up all this. 150 plus 125 plus 570 plus 75 plus 65 plus 50, that comes out to be 1035. Yes, it is what? 1035. So 1035, 10,35,000. Now just balance it, simple, and add up all of this. Yeah, see here, 300,000, yeah, 3 lakh plus 2,50,000 plus 1 lakh plus 75,000 plus 1,12,500 plus 12,500 plus, yeah, that's it. So that comes out to be 8,50,000. 8,50,000 minus 1035, 1035, right? 10,35,000. That comes out to be 185. So this 185 is profit on realization. This 185 is profit on realization. How is it profit? Income is more than expense. This side is more, right? This side is more, right? So income is more than expense. So this is profit, and profit will hit equity shareholder account. Simple. You get it? It's very simple. The profit or loss, if it's the loss, it will come over here, balancing figure. If it's a profit, it will come over here. okay, and it will hit equity shareholder account. Then you have to go back to equity shareholder account. See here, in equity shareholder account, what we did from the balance sheet को खाली करना था, right? So what we did from the balance sheet, we took equity share capital, we dumped it over here, and then there was this fictitious asset, yeah, this accumulated loss. So this was also supposed to be paid by equity shareholder account. So इसको भी उठाया और opposite side में फेंक दिया, right? So now what you are going to do, क्या तुमने पेमेंट किया है, what payment has been done to equity shareholder account, that is what you have to take now. Yeah, so what equity shareholders are getting, they are getting what, come to the purchase consideration calculation, they are getting 3,50,000 of equity shares and cash of 70,000. We will come to the cash later. First come to the equity shares or debentures, whatever that is given, take that first. Yeah, preference shares, whatever. So equity shares are given to the equity shareholders of 3,50,000. So take that. 2 equity shares, they are getting equity shares of 3,50,000. Yeah, purchase consideration calculation, simple. Yeah, so then what you have to do, then you have to take the profit also, this balancing figure from the realization to the equity shareholder account. Yeah, cross posting. See here, 1,85,000, 1,85,000 from the realization account. Simple. Uske baad, what you have to do, you have to balance this account. Yeah, and if you get any difference, then that would go to cash account. और ये कैश में क्या होगा, इसमें परचेज कंसिडरेशन ये बैलेंस ये भी रहेगा, एंड देन सम एक्स्ट्रा बैलेंस भी रहेगा ड्यू टू दैट रियलाइजेशन. Okay, that is the thing. So what you have to do, first close the preference shareholder account, take the balance from here to the realization, close the realization, take the balancing figure to the equity shareholder account. Yeah, this profit or loss, take it to equity shareholder account, and then close the equity shareholder account. And if there is a balancing figure, then that will hit cash account. In that cash, there will be purchase consideration if it is paid in, yeah, if it is paid, yeah, and some extra because of the realization. Yeah, because we have transferred the realization balance over here. Yes, so see here, let's balance this account. See, 400 plus 185, that is equal to 585, 5,85,000. Yeah, minus what, 1,40,000 and 3,50,000. Yes, minus 1,40,000 minus 350, that is equal to 95. So 95,000 cash is there, to cash 95,000. Simple. इसमें क्या है, इसमें 70 है और इसमें 25 भी है. Okay, understood? Yeah, so now this will go to cash account. Yeah, balancing figure of equity shareholder account will go to cash account. So now then you have to open the transferee account. Transferee Fortune Limited account. किसका account? इसका account, Fortune Limited, Transferee Company account. In this account, what you have to do is you have to show the purchase consideration and the expansion of purchase consideration. See here, it's very simple. What you have to take in Fortune Limited account is, see here, first take the cross posting from the realization account. इधर तुमने Fortune Limited का नाम लिया था, right? You have taken the name of Fortune Limited over here. By Fortune Limited account, 5,70,000 purchase consideration. So do the cross posting of that, 5,70,000 here, 5,70,000. Yeah, to realization account. Simple, purchase consideration. और तुम्हें क्या करना है, you have to show the expansion of that 5,70,000. ये 5,70,000 कैसे पे हुआ है, in what forms this purchase consideration has been paid? It has been paid in equity shares and cash. We know that, right? In the calculation of purchase consideration. So to prepare this account, you have to see the calculation of PC. Okay, always remember, first you have to take the cross posting and then see the calculation of PC. So in calculation of PC, you come to know that equity shareholders are getting equity shares and cash, and preference shareholders are also getting equity shares. Yeah, so your purchase consideration is in 2 forms, equity shares, cash. Equity shares किनको दिया है, preference shareholders को भी और equity shareholders को भी. So simple है, 1,50,000 equity shares, 3,50,000 also equity shares. Yes, 2 equity shares are there, so add them up. Okay, see here, 150 plus 350, that is equal to 5 lakh, 500. Yeah, 5 lakh of what? 5 lakh of equity shares, 5 lakh worth of equity shares. Yeah, PC is in equity shares, yeah, of 5 lakh, and then remaining in cash, right? So the cash is 70,000, so you have to take by cash 70,000. Simple क्या है, PC लेना है, उसका expansion दिखाना है, in what form that PC is. It is in equity shares of 5 lakh. Yeah, see here, 352 equity shareholders. Yeah, 352 equity shareholders and 152 preference shareholders. So if you add those two up, it comes to 5 lakh, yeah, equity shares and balance in cash 70,000 which was paid to इक्विटी शेयरहोल्डर्स. या ये 70,000 इसके अंदर भी है, लेकिन while doing Fortune Limited, always see this discharge of PC, yeah, purchase consideration calculation, so that you don't mess up. If you see here, then you might take this 95 over here. No, you don't have to do that. You have to take the cash, whatever that is paid to equity shareholders. Now this 95 entire is not paid to equity shareholders. Entire 95 is not PC. In that 95 there is 70, that is PC. Okay, clear, right? So this is how you have to do cross posting. See the PC calculation and take it, right? And then at last you have to open the bank account and do all the cross postings. Okay, see here, it's very simple. First go to the balance sheet, the question. See here, bank was there of 10,000, so bank balance we had of 10,000, so that you have to take in the bank account to balance B by D. We have 10,000 money in our bank account. So bank account is an asset account. It always have debit balance, so to balance B by D 10,000. Simple. And then what do? You take all the cross postings from all the account. Simple. First let's go to the realization account. See here, in realization we have got two bank over here, right? Two bank, two are there, right? So 1,12,500, 12,500. Yeah, take it on the opposite side. Here it is debited, so take it on the opposite side. Yeah, see here, by realization, 1,12,500, 12,500. It has come from the realization account. Simple. It's simple, right? Yeah. And then see here on this side, on the credit side, buy bank. Two banks are there, 75 and 65. So do the cross posting. Yeah, to realization, 75, 65. Simple. It's simple, right? Cross posting from realization account. And then see the preference shareholder account. Is there any cash over here? No. Come to the equity shareholder account. Is there any cash over here? Yes, right? On the debit side, two cash is there. Do the cross posting. Debit side, go to the credit side, buy equity shareholders 95. See here, 95. Simple. And then come to the transferee account. Yeah, here do you see any cash? Yes, buy cash 70,000. On the credit side, take it on the debit side by the name of the account. To Fortune Limited 70,000. Simple as that. Cross posting from all the account, and at last this account has to be tallied. Okay, see here, 1,12,500 plus 12,500. Yeah, see here, plus 95,000, so that is equal to 2,20,000. Yeah, 2,20,000. And then if you see over here on the debit side, 10,000 plus 70,000 plus 75,000 plus 65,000, that is equal to 2,20,000. So that's it, our account has been tallied. Yeah, our answer is correct. Fine. So this is how you have to do it. Okay, first you have to kill the balance sheet by dumping up all the assets and all the liabilities, whether taken over or not taken over. Yeah, except the fictitious asset. You don't have to take fictitious assets into the realization account, and cash also. If the cash is taken over, then fine, you can take the cash to realization. Otherwise, no, don't take cash. Okay, rest, all asset, all liabilities, taken over or not taken over, take all of them to the realization account at the book values, and then take the purchase consideration. Yeah, and then sell the assets if they are not taken over by yourself. If the market value or the agreed value is given, I mean the fair value is given, then take those. Otherwise, at the book values only, you have to sell them. And then the liabilities, pay the liabilities. Yeah, if the values are given, fine. If the values are not given, then pay the liabilities at their book value. And then any expense will come over here. Yeah, and then open the equity shareholder and preference shareholder account. Yeah, dump their capitals in there. Yeah, whatever capitals are there on the opposite side. Yes, and close the preference shareholder account first, because if there is any balancing figure, it has to hit realization account. So that is why close the PSH account first, preference shareholder account first. Yeah, and then close the realization account. If it is profit, it will go to equity shareholder. If it is loss, it will go to equity shareholders on the opposite sides. You know that. And then equity shareholder account, what do? Yeah, see, we take the capital here, and then if there are any fictitious assets, then on the opposite side, see here, fictitious assets was there right here on the asset side. So on the opposite side in the equity shareholder account, it will go. Whatever it is there, you have to take that. Yeah, whatever payment that has been done, yeah, equity shares, debentures, you have to take that. Yeah, and the balancing figure of equity shareholder account will be cash. Always remember that. Okay, yes. And then what do? You open the transferee account. In the transferee account, you take the purchase consideration and show in what forms the purchase consideration has been paid. And for this, you have to see the, purchase consideration calculation. Yeah, simple as that. And then do the bank account at last from the cross postings from all the accounts. Yeah, simple as that. So now let's see the journal entries that you have to pass in the books of Fortune Limited. Yeah, in the books of Transferee. Now let's see how to pass the journal entries in the books of Fortune Limited, in the books of Transferee Company, right? So here what has happened, here this Excel Limited has been acquired by Fortune Limited. So Fortune Limited, now you have to think from the point of view of Fortune Limited, okay? Because you are preparing the, journal entries in the books of Fortune Limited. So now what has happened, you have purchased Excel Limited, you have purchased a whole business, a whole company, right? So what would be the entry? The simple entry. Business purchase account debit. You are purchasing the business. In 11th standard, what used to be the entry for simple credit purchase? Let's say we purchase goods from Sham. Purchase account debit to Sham. Yeah, but here we are purchasing the entire business, entire company, right? This Excel Limited. So that is why here we are purchasing Excel Limited, and this company will be liquidated. Yeah, it will be shut down. And who will do that liquidation? Liquidator. A person will be appointed, right? I have told you all this in the previous videos. Yes, so now we are purchasing this business. So we are going to use term business purchase account debit, and we are going to take the purchase consideration amount 5,70,000 to liquidators of Excel Limited, because we have to hand over the purchase consideration to whom? To liquidator, the person who will be appointed to liquidate the Excel Limited company. We are going to hand over the PC to liquidator, and then he will hand it over to the equity shareholder and the preference shareholder of Excel Limited, right? So that is what. So the entry would be business purchase account debit 5,70,000 to liquidator of Excel Limited. This is the PC due entry. To make the purchase consideration due, we have to pay purchase consideration. By we, I mean Fortune Limited. We are thinking from the point of view of Fortune Limited over here, right? Because we are passing journal entries in the books of Fortune Limited, the transferee company. And this is amalgamation in the nature of purchase, right? Because in the beginning only we came to know that the condition has been, it has been what? It has been broken, because only some assets and liabilities are acquired. Yes, so this is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. So yeah, the first entry is of making the purchase consideration due. We have to pay to liquidator the purchase consideration, and we have purchased the business. So here our liability is increasing, we have to credit the liquidator account. Understood? Then the second entry is of taking over assets and liabilities. What all assets and what all liabilities we have acquired, we have taken over from the Excel Limited company. Yes, what we have taken over. So now we have taken over. In this question you have to see, now what most of the students they do know, they see the realization account, and on the basis of this they try to pass the journal entries. No, there is no link between the treatment here and the treatment here. Okay, you have to do that separately. Now you don't have to look at the Excel Limited books. Okay, throw that out. See here, you have to see the question now. See here in the question what they have said, Fortune Limited acquires the business of Excel Limited and agrees to take over only fixed assets and debentures. Only fixed assets, land and building is taken, plant and machinery is taken, yeah, and what is taken? And debentures are taken. Yes, 1,50,000. So only that will come in the second entry, whatever that is taken over. And at what values? At the agreed values. In the realization account, that is different, entirely different. Don't link that with here, okay? This is entirely different. Here we are taking book values and all. This is entirely different. Don't link it, okay? Here you are taking agreed values. So in the question, agreed values are given. See here, land and building and plant and machinery are revalued at 5,75,000 and 1,45,000. So these values you are taking for the land and building, 5,75,000 and 1,45,000. Yeah. So land and building account debit, plant and machinery account debit. Yeah, because you are increasing the asset in your books, in your new books now, in the books of Fortune Limited. So that is why you have to debit the assets. We have taken over these assets. Assets are increasing. Okay, and then you are taking over the liabilities also. You are taking those liabilities in your books also. You are increasing those liabilities in your books, right? What liability did you take? You took only debentures. You Fortune Limited only took debentures, right? At what value? At the book value itself, right? At the book value itself. So to 12% debentures, 1,50,000. Now it is nothing said in the question. See here, no agreed value of debentures are given. So you have to assume that it is taken over at the book value only, and you have to assume that is the agreed value. So 212% debentures, 1,50,000. Liability is increasing. Yeah, we have acquired that liability. We have to record that liability. To record the liability, we have to increase the liability in our books, in our Fortune Limited books. So credit the debentures account. Yeah, and then what do? You close that business purchase account, that temporary account we opened. Yeah, business purchase account debit 5,70,000. This needs to be cancelled. So that is why we credit here to business purchase. Here it was debited. We cancel that account with an equal credit with the purchase consideration amount. What is happening in the second entry? We are showing what we have purchased. In the first entry, we have shown that we have purchased the business 5,70,000. But what that business comprises of? It comprises of assets and liabilities. So you have to expand and show with the agreed values what you have taken over. Okay, तुमने 5,70,000 पे purchase किया ये business, right? 5,70,000 में purchase किया. क्या purchase किया? Assets and liabilities. That is what you purchase. Yes, so that is what you are showing in these entries, and you're closing. तुम उड़ा रहे हो, तुम फेंक रहे हो business purchase account. You're cancelling of the business purchase account, being all assets and liabilities taken over. Simple. And if the balancing figure comes on the debit side, it will be goodwill. Yeah, if the payment is done more, if, okay, here it is not happening. If you have done more payment, then what? You have to take goodwill over here. Yeah, if you have done less payment, then the, then the net assets you are getting, asset minus liabilities, then the balance would come on the credit side to capital reserve. Okay, we will see that in the next problem, don't worry, right? I have explained that in the accounting treatment video as well, yeah, in the transferee company books. Yes, so now this is what? If balancing figure comes on debit side, goodwill. If balancing figure comes on credit side, capital reserve. Okay, in the purchase method, we are doing purchase method over here. So in the third entry, what do? In the third entry, we make the payment. Now this is a simple problem. There are only 3 entries over here. Yeah, it's a simple problem. Yeah, so here see, in the third entry, we are making the payment of purchase consideration to the liquidators. So simple. Here you accepted that you have to pay to liquidator. Liability was increasing, so you credited liquidator's account. Yes, liquidators of Excel Limited. But now you are paying the purchase consideration actually. So you have to debit the liquidator account because the liability is decreasing. If you are paying it off, then liability is no more. It has to be decreased. So to decrease the liability, to reduce the liability, to cancel that liability, you have to make an equal debit. Liquidators of Excel Limited, 5,70,000. Yeah, this is the purchase consideration, 5,70,000. And what did you pay to liquidator? The purchase consideration calculation. Yes, you paid equity shares. Yeah, 1,50,000 of equity share capital and 3,50,000 of equity shares. And then you paid balance in cash, that was 70,000. So you have to show that. So equity share capital to equity share capital account 5 lakh to cash account 70,000. Yeah, simple. So this is what you have to do. You are making the payment. In what forms are you making the payment? Equity share capital is going out, cash is going out. Yeah, these are the things we are giving to the owners of Excel Limited, preference shareholders and equity shareholders, right? We have given it to them, but we will hand it over to the first liquidator. Understood? So don't confuse it. It's simple. Okay, so first is the PC due entry. We have to pay what you have purchased, show that, and cancel the business purchase account. If there is a balancing figure on the debit side, goodwill. If there is a balancing figure on the credit side, capital reserve, and then pay the liability. Yeah, pay the purchase consideration to the liquidators. That's it. Yeah, and then some more entries can come depending upon the question. We will see that in the coming problems. Okay, don't worry, it's simple. You understood, right? So don't try to link between the books of Fortune Limited and the books of Excel Limited. Yeah, you have to do that separately. Okay, right, because there is no link here. Here AS 14 applies, right? Here accounting standard 14 applies. We see whether it is amalgamation in the nature of merger or purchase and do the journal entries accordingly. But here in the books of Excel Limited, Transferee Company, AS 14 doesn't apply. We use what? Simple gap rules, right? To close the company. That's it. Realization account, these accounts we open and we close the books of Excel Limited. That's what we do. So we have to do these two things separately. And it doesn't matter whether amalgamation is in the nature of purchase or merger in case of Transferee Company, because there is only one method, only one way to close the books. Open the realization account and all these accounts and close the books. But in the books of Fortune Limited, we have to see whether amalgamation is in the nature of merger or purchase and pass the journal entries accordingly. Fine. Okay, simple, right? All right. So now in the next video, we are going to see one more problem. Okay, see you in the next video.